Today's supposed to be my high volume squat day, wide stance, high bar. But it's hard for me to sell that to myself when the adductor is pissed off. The left adductor is causing me lots of trouble. Ever since I stopped doing high bar, which is now probably 4 or 5 days, I've started to feel better. I'm kind of greasing the groove with the high bar ATG squats, and it's getting better and better. Even though the wide stance squats do not bother me when I do them, it's something is happening when I do them in the aftermath. I feel like the adductor gets short, and then every time I revisit the high bar ATG squat, I feel like I've run out of length in the adductors and they get pissed off. So, following the logic of Louis Simmons and all that kind of conjugate style of lifting, if there is a pain, just move on. And so I'm going to move on from it for a little while, 3-4 weeks. I'm going to put wide stance squats in the same bucket as I put in leg press, hack squats, belt squats, all that stuff. That goes in there. I think it's a very, very, very useful accessory to do. I love it. I feel like I've made some progress with it, more so in low bar stance squats, wide stance low bar. But I think right now I got to give it a rest. I have to give it a rest. I'll go back to doing some other accessory. Today I decided to do single leg RDLs to get a bit more kind of length in that adductor, hamstring, glute complex. I feel like that is probably what I need to do most right now, and I feel like that has also played a part in how I feel in the adductor. So moving away from that, I kind of really wanted to progress that for a whole bunch more weeks, but the body sometimes tells you, nah, that's enough. And so in the past, I would have fought through and tried anything and everything on the side of it, as in added another accessory to try and combat the negative effects of the wide stance squats or whatever else is causing me the trouble. I would have done that. But now I'm like, nah, let's just substitute that out completely and just give it a proper rest. Today, it was all about high bar squats, ATG. Worked up to 180. I was feeling from 160 to 180, I was feeling the adductor a little bit, but it's a whole of a lot better. Of a lot better than last week or so. So unfortunate, man. Unfortunate because I remember when I was doing the crazy deadlift period, when I was setting all those PRs, the 270, 275, 280, 285, all in about 6 weeks. I kept saying to myself, stay the same, don't change anything. But surely, steadily and surely, I don't know what the term is, I've forgotten how to say that, you find out that one thing bothers you, another thing bothers you, and then you're like, man, I have to stop this, I have to stop that, this doesn't feel great anymore, and then all of a sudden, you've evolved out of the very recipe which has gotten you success. But what do you do, man? What do you do? First of all, after the 285, a few weeks after that, I was just feeling exhausted in my rows. I was feeling exhausted in my squats. Squats starting to feel even worse. And I try to progress the weight a little bit. The wide stance low bar squats were kind of all right, but then I was starting to kind of feel like I'm moving away, further and further away from high bar squats. The high bar squats started feeling worse and worse and worse. At the time, I didn't really know. And then eventually the pain started happening in the adductor. So I think that feeling of it's not working well initially wasn't clear, but then as I continued on with the same type of volume, like on the squat day like this, I would do either, in the past I was doing low bar, I would do even more volume, and then the following days I would struggle with high bar, and things were just getting worse and worse, and bang, eventually a few weeks down the track, I have pain. And essentially pain is the best, convincing you to stop. So I think I'll need to move away from it. And straight away I'm like, I could do leg press. Leg press is very heavy on the adductors as well. That's one thing that I've worked out. I started doing leg press with the hope of getting quad action. A little bit of quads. Leg press is a little bit of quads, but it's mostly glutes and adductors for me, as is everything. But even though I had quite a lot of success with it, so I think hack squats were good, but even they were more lower back than quads. It's just my body finds every creative way of not engaging the quads. But anyway, I've had some success, but now I have to kind of back away a little bit and give these adductors a bit of a rest because they've had a freaking thumping over the last few months, I guess. So yeah, just single leg RDLs, trying to get that hamstring glute to support the adductor, and hopefully I'll get back into that secret recipe of December that I had. But maybe now I can transition into feeling a little bit better in the high bar squats. It's something that I've not felt really well ever since doing hack squats. Really, hack squats got me down to 215, up to 215 squats. So maybe I can start kind of transitioning towards that. Once the adductors relax, maybe put hack squats back in. That'll be really interesting to see what happens. Anyway, appreciate you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.